crash liquidity concepts, and we are on episode 4 of 7 of the bclc capital trading team here. Welcome back. So let's get to it. If you haven't watched episode 1, 2, 3 of the series, better make sure I'll link the link to the videos on the top right there. So make sure to check out our video, guys, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to share our videos. Make sure to like this content. Make sure to just give us a shout out, put your comments, tell us how you feel about this series, if we should continue doing more content like these ones, or I don't know, something. Just put something on the comment box. Our main goal is just to help you succeed in your trading. So what we want to do is, on this series, we'll be helping you identify certain patterns that take place in the marketplace that you can avoid being a victim to, right? So today we'll be focusing on equal highs liquidity. So there resides liquidity above equal highs, and then double tops, which is a popular market term. They are like a market trap sometimes. So what I mean is the market tends to run over these equal highs. So what you need to do is you need to learn to recognize these patterns, right? So we did attempt to explain what equal highs is all about on our Instagram page. Check it out at capitaltrading BW on Instagram, right? So let's get to the first. We had this was an uptrend, a continuous uptrend, but the market then decided to consolidate for some time. As it was doing that, we had this 1, 2, 3 equal highs being formed, right? So let's see if price is gonna attempt on running them at a later stage. So I priced it, dropped to the downside to some fair value gap here, and then pushed to the upside, right? So they did run over this liquidity on the top side. So let's jump into the second example. We had price dropping for some time here, right? And then we had this 1, 2 equal or relatively equal highs, right? They don't necessarily have to be equal. As long as they're relative, then it's fine, because the market tends to remember them anyway, because you find out that people tends to, or not just people, but traders, they tend to place their stop loss above old highs. So what the market tries to do is try to seek these stops and those orders above old highs, right? So that's what the market did here. We had the market dropping after taking out this old lows down here, and we had them running over these equal highs with such big movements, right? So let's look at the third chart. So we had price dropping, and when it dropped, it formed this last up close candle, which was a bearish order block. Then we had the market consolidate for some time here. So it was consolidating. Now we had this 1, 2, 3 highs, which were equal. And then we had this old low being formed. Let's see how the market performed over those. So we had the market going to the downside and push into the upside to this bearish order block up here. And then they dropped to the downside and targeted this old low. So these were the good examples of how to recognize equal highs on Crash 300. Hey there, let me disturb you for a moment. So before we continue, I want you to search at Capital Tradings, right, on YouTube channel, and make sure to subscribe to that channel. and go to our playlist section where you're gonna find 2023 Boom and Crash Capitalizer series. So in that series, we are teaching you how to become a more price action trader, especially focusing on the boom and crash. We are looking at entries, how to look for entries and how to look for exits, how to identify liquidity on old highs and old lows. And we did attempt to look at trending markets and just consolidating markets. There's a lot that you can catch on from there. Just check it out and make sure to like, comment, and share on our videos. Thank you. Now we're gonna jump back straight to our crash 500 chart. So let's get to it. Dating for some time, and they found these equal highs, and then price suddenly or eventually did come to take out this equal highs here, right? So this is a good example. And then the second example, we had 1, 2, 3 equal or relatively equal highs being formed here, and then price did drop into the last up close candle after testing the bearish order, the bullish order block, and now it becomes our bullish propulsion block, right? So you want to see if this is going to take price upward and take out this liquidity, and that's what happened here. Price did test this and push to the upside to take out this equal highs liquidity. Now let's look at the third example. So we had price forming 1, 2. Those are 2 equal highs, and price before forming the second high, they did drop to this bullish order block, and then they push to the upside. Let's see what's going to happen. Will they push to the upside, then try to reach for this old low? Right, so what they did is they did reach for the old low first here, down here, and then push to the upside to reach into these equal highs liquidity. So that's how you would look at C5 and attempt to look for equal highs liquidity. Now let's look into crash 1000. So for crash, we had these 2 equal highs being formed when price was heavily bearish. So we had these 2 equal highs being formed, and then price eventually did reach into these liquidity with this movement here, right? So that's what happened. Second example. So we had price pushing to the upside, then forming this 1, 2 relative equal highs. So let's see what's going to happen. Then we had price dropping, retracing to the downside, and then pushing to the upside to reach into this equal highs liquidity. Now let's look into the third example of the equal highs liquidity, C1000. So we had these 2 equal highs being formed, and then price dropped. So let's see if they're going to reach into those. And they definitely did that after some time. They definitely did attract equal highs liquidity. Now we look at Boom 300. So for Boom 300, we had price dropping, right? Then we had this old lows being taken out. But before the old lows were taken out, we had this 1, 2, 3 equal, relative equal highs. So we want to see if price will utilize this bullish order block and this propulsion block to attempt to reach into these equal highs. So we had that happening here. Price did that, right? Now let's look into the second example. So we had price forming this 1, 2 relative equal highs. So let's see if price is gonna run them over. And we had price now dropping and then spiking up to reach into these equal highs liquidity. Now let's look at to the last chart. We had 1, 2, 3. So what price did is they reached into this liquidity with this this candle over here, right? So that's how you'd look into boom 300 and liquidity. Now let's jump into boom 500. This is our first chart. So we had this 1, 2 equal highs being formed. We can also include this to last 2, but we just specifically wanted to focus on these 2. So as price was consolidating, right, liquidity obviously was being formed. So price did reach into that here with so much movement to the upside. Let's see the second chart of the boom 500. So we had equal highs being formed up here, right? And then we also had this fair value gap. So what did we want to see? We wanted to see if price is gonna run over this equal highs and then drop to fill our 30 minutes fair value gap. That's what happened. Spike to the upside, took out this equal highs liquidity, dropped to the downside into this fair value gap and the 30 minutes. Let's jump into the last chart of the boom 5. We had this 1, 2 highs being formed. So we wanted to see if price is gonna run them over. We had price drop into the downside countless times and then push into the upside to reach into these equal highs liquidity. Now we're looking into boom 1000, the first chart. So we had boom 1000 reaching into these old low. Now we want to see if they're going to reach into these 2 relative equal highs, right? We had price doing that after taking out this old low down here. Let's look at the second chart. So I had this 1, 2 relative equal highs. And price after some time did reach into these equal highs, right? Now let's jump into the last chart. We had price forming this 1, 2 equal highs, relative equal highs. Then after some time, they did reach into those equal highs and also reach into this equal highs. So that's how you'd look for liquidity on boom 1000. That's all for now. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, guys. Make sure to put your comments on the comment section, okay? So our next episode will be looking at equal lows liquidity, more or less similar to this, except now we'll be looking at liquidity on the downside. Thank you.